Since our house did not originally come with plumbing or electricity, and these items were added later, what style would be appropriate for this bathroom? Should it be Victorian, perhaps the 20s, the 30s, or even the 40s? Rehabilitating an old house is like writing a novel or making a film. In order to answer some of the questions or make decisions about how to proceed, a writer often relies on the backstory that they have created for the characters or locations. The design process for old house rehabilitation can benefit from the creation of such a backstory. In the rehabilitation process at Chaplain House, we often refer to the house's history, both real and imagined, to help us make design choices as we breathe life back into the home. Join us as we create this bathroom and share the story that this bathroom will tell. Throughout the video, we will discuss how the story helps guide us through the choices and decisions that we make along the way. But more on that later. Like all old homes, the history of this house is intertwined with the history of the people that lived there. Their lives and the changes they made to the house over the years and decades are an important part of understanding the history of the house itself. What changes did they make? When did they add electricity? When did they put in bathrooms and running water? Did they ever upgrade the bathrooms? Did they close off parts of the house? Did they add an addition? When did they put the garage in? All of these are important to understanding the history of the property so that we can respect that history as we go through our rehabilitation. Along this wall, underneath the sink, around the toilet, and under the window, we will be using this beadboard. This is the beadboard that we salvaged in Columbus, and we've been refinishing the beadboard. Now that beadboard will sit on above a baseboard. The baseboard will more or less match the baseboard that we have outside of the room and in the rest of the house. Top floor, we're still deciding between this one and the same thing, which is just a totally white matte hex mosaics. And this is the emerald green subway tile that we've chosen for the shower walls. So the shower is going to come out here. This is me standing at the shower door. Oh, and then on this thing, here's a drawing of our bathroom. So on this cabinet door here, this cabinet will contain towels and things, and we plan on replacing the door, or at least modifying the door. We'll put shelves back and hide the vent stack. But we'd like to, since it'll be storage for towels and things for the bathroom and for guests, we'd like to either cut a big hole in the door or maybe make a new door. And that door will have a stained glass or stained glass type window in it so that you'll be able to see through a semi-opaque door. Since the walls of the shower weren't entirely plumb, making the tiles level meant that the outside edge of the shower wall was not plumb. That meant that this piece of beadboard that touched the tile would have to be cut at an angle so that it was flush with the tile all the way up the wall. Here I created a jig so that I could rip this piece of beadboard to the proper angle. Speaking of jigs, I also built this jig that enabled me to put a consistent hole in the boards where I would secure them to the wall, and also be able to properly locate the anchor behind the screw. We've been looking at a lot of colors. We're looking for colors that match the wallpaper, match the wainscot, and match the tile. And stick around because later in the video we have even more colors to share with you. Please let us know what you think of these colors and any other suggestions you might have. We'd love to hear from you. Well, since Maddie and Ellie are concentrating on doing the plastering in the dining room, I myself am concentrating on the plaster and patching some holes here. And I'm going to need a mesh where the hole in the corner of the shower is, and that is right up here, and then this one right here over the doorway. Where is it? It's over there. So I need one over the doorway there. I need one in the back corner over here, and then I need over here, I need the curdy board to be covered with the mesh, and make this wall flush with the rest of the wall above it. So other than plastering, I have the wainscot here. Down below here, there's a bracket that holds the sink up, and I need to cut holes in the wainscot for the bracket holes, or the bracket bolts. Then I need to cut holes for the rough plumbing that I've done there. I need to measure and cut the down below the window. So here's where we are with the bathroom today. Did get this wall plastered. We're gonna need, that's a base coat. We're gonna need to put finish coat on that. Our design for this bathroom will include items that could have been put in by the original owners of the home during the period in which they lived here. The house was built in the 1880s by George Wilson for his 3 sisters. George had inherited the property under a will that stipulated that the sisters could live there as long as they remained unmarried. The oldest sister passed away in 1906, and the remaining 2 sisters, Anna and Agnes, continued to live in the home for the rest of their lives. It would appear that aside from the addition of a wall that blocked off the staircase and a second-floor kitchen, all of the changes to the house occurred between 1884 and 1946. On this wall, including under the window, I wasn't really happy with how far the wainscot came out from the wall, so after dry fitting these T&G pieces, I decided to attach them to Curdy board that was attached to the masonry. Unfortunately, I didn't get any video of this process, but you get the idea. Here's the door to the bathroom. It needs to be cleaned up, primed, and painted. This side will be painted a Swiss coffee color. I have set aside and marked the wainscoting so I know where it goes. Back here. Here's the trim that we are looking at for the edge here. Actually, the trim will go up around the top and come around here. Then today, we're going to put some new colors, test colors, sample colors on the wall here. Maddie and I should do that this afternoon. This is the wall behind me where we're going to put some sample paint on today. Please come back for the final reveal of this bathroom when we post that video shortly. Meanwhile, you can watch one of these.